Hello, everyone, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of the Traitors US Season 1. I'm in week 3 of my COVID recovery, and why this show couldn't have dropped at the peak so I could have finished it, we'll never know. I've only seen episodes 1 through 5 in the beginning of 6, so I'm going to tap out a little early. It's been a while since the four of us have been on a show together. It has been so long. Jackie has grown a child. That is due any minute.
Allison, I'm sitting right here.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. It has been a minute. It's been a hot minute, but yes, I'm completely dedicated to this show. I am all in. I'm excited. This is why we don't have Celebrity Big Brother this winter. I'm thoroughly convinced.
And to be fair, she knew about the show 2 days before it dropped when Tyler asked if we were going to cover it.
True.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, I've tried. Listen, normally I don't have let's just be honest, I don't have a life. So I would have had this show done before you guys did, but I had stuff come up as such as life, and it is what it is. I'm blessed to have a life at times, so I make no. Listen, I'm not looking at the chat right now, so Tyler, can you acknowledge?
I got you. We have Rory and Adrian in the chat, so hello to you, beautiful people. Before we talk spoilers, because I'm like foaming at the mouth to talk about the ending. We're just gonna talk about like the general cast, like our general thoughts and stuff like that. I know Jackie has seen some international versions of The Traitor, so I kind of want to start there, Jackie. This is my first experience with The Traitors as a franchise. Like I'm really comparing it a lot to The Mole, like especially like Netflix's The Mole. But there are like certain like differences, of course. Like how is it like different? How is the US version on Peacock different than any international versions that you've seen? And what's like your history with The Traitors?
So Andrew knows a little bit more of my tea. This show is more like Mafia, or what is that show, Werewolf and that show. And I like became obsessed with it, I think last spring. Andrew, was that when we met? Was that March? Because I watched the RHAP. They did a version of the werewolves and the town people, the village people. I know I'm getting that all wrong, but
you were begging me to host Mafia nights that you never came to.
I'm sorry. found out I was pregnant, but really,
good excuse.
I'm living for your cat's tail.
Oh, she will give you her tail to kiss. She's ready for me to pop. She's in the way, but it gives that like. Yeah, it has a little bit of that mold, but it's all deception. Like if you are a traitor, you have to be cutthroat and cunning. Without spoiling the US, I was hoping that the US was going to go in the same direction as Australia and kind of end in the same way. But, Australians just do some things a little bit better than we do. They're a lot nicer sometimes. They're not so socially just cunning and want to cut your throat, but then also they're extremely like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're extremely intellectual and like very methodical. If you go and watch the Australian Traitors and the way it ended, you'll be upset at the way the US Traitors ended because it was going that route. So that's all I can say.
I really love Australia. They gave us the Hemsworth brothers.
They gave us Australian Survivor too, which is good.
Yes, so good. Yes,
and the Australian Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a huge. Authentic. I had one of the worst cases of food poisoning 6 years ago from Outback Steakhouse. I had diarrhea coming out of every opening in my body.
Good to know.
I am sorry that I opened that can of worms.
But before we get started, I do kind of have a little mini announcement. I haven't told y'all, but I wanted to say something really quick. Are you ready?
Are we having two babies?
Oh, honey, no, that's Shot Strata. You might as well call me Mary because Jesus, God came down and no. I officially do not have commercials on Paramount Plus. It happened. It over. They fixed it. I'm like, you guys now I can watch normal shit on Paramount Plus, and I don't have to watch those ridiculous commercials. I'm like emotional about it. I'm so freaking happy.
You know this is on Peacock though, right?
That I realized after I couldn't fucking find it on Paramount Plus, and then I realized it was on the other P. But because I get Peacock now for free without commercials through Xfinity. So like everything.
That's why you haven't used my login.
That's right. It's like, boy, how did you know I was all up in your Peacock, Andrew? Could you tell I was at all the murder shows? Anyway, if you know me, if you're a follower of this show, you know that I was a CBS All Access since 2005. People, that's 18 years, and finally, I got it under control, and I have no longer have commercials. Okay, we can go ahead and talk about the show.
Okay, so let's talk about just some like standout cast members here, because so how they did it for the US was they have 10 like reality TV famous people, and then 10 regular Joe Schmoes. I always worry about like casts that are like half like returnees, half like newbies. And I kind of feel the same way this season that I do of pretty much like any other time that they do this. The newbies just are not big as characters. They're not as intelligent or intuitive. Like these people are so blinded by Cirie in particular. And this is no spoilers. It is insane. Like they have especially Cirie has everybody out of the newbies like totally fooled, and it is just very impressive to see. But I almost wonder, like, did they do this type of casting on purpose to maybe make sure that the reality TV people stick around a little bit longer? I don't know.
So I believe in a game like this, if you really wanted to pick up, you need those pre-existing relationships at some point, because you're really trying to pick up on tells and you're really trying to pick up on personalities. Like for me, I've played Mafia since I was in high school, and it's more fun with people that I know than it is with people that I don't because of that. And so I feel like a lot of that whole concepts of like, I know Cirie was like this, and I know this was like this, and I know that this person acted like that. Those things are necessary. So I do like the split. And I do think although they were manipulated ultimately, I think there were still some good characters, right? Like Andie was great, right? Yeah. I forget his name, the country boy. He was great. Michael. TV. Great Michael. TV.
Michael was good.
Will you let me finish? Will you let me finish?
Michael was giving Brittany. He was. I loved him.
I think he thought he was playing Survivor at some point and not the Traitors. But
yeah.
And I think all of them did to a point. I think Rachel Reilly even played that to an extent, more like a Big Brother game than realizing that they were in a Traitor game.
She realized that they was in the Traitors at the last second.
You know what? I don't, and I'm only 5. I'm not a Christian fan. I want to smack his hats off his head and his fake ass. Yeah, he does. He's like he's a B- movie actor. Like when he comes in the kitchen, the breakfast every morning, and they're looking at these like, really? That person's gone. Oh man, y'all. Oh, this is getting real. I just ugh. But I can tell you why he's gone, though. I can tell you why. Not that I'm a traitor.
Oh, he was jibber. He was just, his mouth was just going from the first episode.
I did like in the first episode, Cody was like, oh, Christian is getting on my last nerve. And then Alan walks around and taps him on the shoulder, and they're traitors together. And I'm like,
which I think before we go too much further, Alan Cummings was one of the best hosts that I have seen in a reality TV show in a long freaking time. Yes. he played that. He dominated that. He was in care. It was just like.
Honestly, Andrew,
great.
I think it's because he just doesn't give a shit. Like he did like an interview with RHAP, and Rob was like, "So, like, how did you get this job? Like, are you a big fan of reality TV?" And all Alan Cumming said back was, "No." I think that he is just like very emotionally. Wait, what was the follow-up, Jackie?
It was like a follow-up question that Rob asked. It was like, "Are you familiar with any of the people?" He was like, "I've never met any of these people in my life. I have no clue who they are."
But he just killed it. And here's what I loved. Here's what I loved. And when we get to roundtable, he says this intro and then he shuts up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's not asking questions. He's not commenting. He introduces it and he shuts up, and he knows when to be the host and he knows when to be the viewer. And I think that is what was just so awesome to watch.
I wonder if Survivor would be more successful in this way. Like, instead of like Jeff Probst like intervening at every GD waking moment in Tribal Council, like if he just was the one to like give the talking stick and then take away the talking stick at the end, like Alan Cumming did here. Like, I love how Alan's just like, "All right, guys, begin the deliberation process." And then once it hits like a lull, he can be like, "All right, guys, voting's done." Like, and that's it. Like, just trust your cast when your cast is this good. And I totally agree, Andrew. Like, no influence from Alan, like no little like leading the conversation one way or another, no like forcing an answer out of somebody, like let all of these chickens just like point at each other and start blaming each other. Nobody has the full story except for the traitors. And it's really juicy. It's good stuff. I don't know. I like it.
And the way, what you're saying, the way that Tribal Council has evolved into this live tribal, it works that way too. Where he can just turn, I mean, like in the new era of Survivor, that would work in this way that these tribals are so live. And don't hang me, I still haven't finished last season, so I don't know how live that, I know.
You're not missing much.
I know. I watched the first boot and I was like, And
I'm sorry. I don't know why it's funny. It just is.
Yeah, I haven't finished Survivor yet. So, but I mean, if that live tribal would feed into that aspect just as much.
Tyler, don't hate me. I did it. I wanted to take a screenshot so many times, but I couldn't because I was just trying to get through the show. Reza, right?
Yeah,
Reza with his black turtleneck and necklace in the first episode, looking constipated at every turn. Just all I could think was, "This is Tyler when he gets on the show."
No.
I'm like, Tyler, you would be wound up so tight. You would be just what? I just kept thinking, I am getting Tyler vibes from this guy. He's just wound up so tight. He'd shit a diamond. I mean, he would. It'd be amazing. And that's not an insult. I just kept thinking about how serious you get in just covering Survivor and the edgic and the analyzing. And it's just, you're just so into it. Like, that guy was there. He was dedicated and he got killed.
I'd have loved to see more from him.
Me too.
I do too. I want to know how to audition for this show.
I don't know.
I want to audition for this freaking show. And it reminds
I would love to see you sitting at that round table being like, "Well, I saw Tyler talking to somebody, so I think it's going to be him."
I would love to see you on the show, Allison.
I'd be like, everybody at this table's been talking to everybody but me. I mean, but it reminds me of like, there's the kind of Big Brother vibes. There's the sequester vibes and like the Hustler. I even kept thinking of the show, The Hustler, because you don't know. I like that we know who the traitors are. Now in the mole, we don't know who it is, right?
Right.
That's what drove me insane watching it, is not knowing, but trying to guess and all that. But what I do like is that we know who it is. I love who they picked. I kind of in my mind thought, oh, Cirie and Cody are a shoo-in. Like, there's no way they don't go with them. But as for the third, I thought, wouldn't it be? I wish to God they had picked Brandi Glanville, her drunk ass trying to act like she's not the traitor.
Yeah.
Well, when we were in deliberation in the middle of the, I mean, when I just, you know what I just said? I'm not the traitor. I'm a faithful.
Brandi was great.
Yeah.
I'm an
So,
effing faithful.
You brought up something, Allison, that I think I thought about, especially with this being streaming focused.
Mhm.
What I would have loved is, and it would take it a little more work, if they could have given us 2 edits. One with knowing the traitors from the beginning, and one without. And
Oh,
being
that's a
able
good
to
idea.
watch both perspectives with the traitor confessionals going on and then with them not. And I thought they missed the opportunity because they are airing this on real television weekly also. So to have like been
They
like,
are?
hey, week,
Oh,
Where?
I
And
didn't
so-
know that. On NBC.
it's on NBC. Because I didn't know it was live at first. I didn't know it was a streamer. I thought it was just a weekly, and I set it to record, and then all these people are posting about how the traitors were so good. I'm like, how you know the ending? And then but if they would have like done the weekly versions of it with not knowing, and then us go back and be able to watch an
Yeah.
edited version that showed that, I just thought, and it made me think of Kaleidoscope. I don't know if y'all have watched that on Netflix, but this
I
whole-
haven't, but I want to watch that. So I know what you mean, Andrew.
where each episode can be played in a different order and it gives a different perception. And that's kind of something that I had thought of with this show.
I mean, what would you guys like? Would you rather know who the traitors are for this, or would you rather like them all like not know until the very
I
end?
love knowing just to watch them screw up like I just watched Cody do in episode 5, you know, just running his mouth. I love watching Christian almost give himself away every morning at breakfast. I'm just living for it. And Cirie just sitting back going, how the fuck? I got to strangle these two.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if I can pick up on it, I know everyone else can pick up on it. But my favorite thing so far is Kate getting up and Stephanie saying, I saw a piece of paper fall out of her dress. And I just picked it up and I'm like,
Was it toilet paper?
it fell out of her dress. I know. These people are probably a lot cleaner than me, but I just say it's, you know, I mean, it fell out of her. Just say it was in the seat. I don't need to know why she have a piece of paper in her dress.
I loved Kate Chastain on this season. Like,
Oh my
she
gosh.
was incredible casting. Like, such a fold to like all of the strategy going on the holes. Like, I love when like there's a player that is just like, I don't give a shit about playing the game. Like, I am just here like to just like go against the grain in whatever which way. And she's so messy about it too. And her feud with Rachel is just like a flavor of petty that we haven't seen on reality television in quite some time. Like, making digs about each other's outfits, like when they come down for breakfast. Like,
I don't trust you because
I love that.
I want to take the Kate conversation deeper when Allison leaves.
Sure. Yeah. I just had to say it up front. Okay, so I have something else that I want to rant about. Cody Calafiore did not know what he was signing up for. Cody California, some guy that like I guess he played Big Brother once or twice. Like, not really anything.
Well, let me make this
memorable to
clear.
me.
This is not Big Brother time.
No, it's
No, and right, but do you see how much he like freaked out with like the first sign of confrontation that Cirie gave him about Ryan Lochte? Like, Cody is so not used to that in Big Brother games. Like, he is so used to like everybody doing everything for him the entire season and just having like an easy ride. And seeing like how much like being a traitor stressed him the hell out, where he just like basically just like broke in front of everybody. That just like solidifies to me that he is not this like top tier player that everybody thinks that he is. Cirie just totally whooped his ass strategically. And it was fantastic. Like, I loved every second of it. And it also makes me so angry that, like, Rachel Reilly, if she were not pregnant the summer of Big Brother 22 and she was on that season, there is no effing way Cody would have won that season. The committee would have not been a thing. Like, Rachel would have stood up to those clowns like she did in the Traitors here. So those are my, like, Big Brother thoughts. Like, Rachel and Cody were great contributions to the show, but I just love how much Cirie just, like, handed it to him. Like, it was amazing.
You know who I want to see on the Traitors US season 2? I want to see Sandra Diaz Twine.
Yes, and Janelle.
And Janelle. And I know this is unpopular, but Russell Hantz.
Ooh, Russell would be really fun on the Traitors.
This would be so good.
He'd be like Ryan in the first episode, like pulling on the bookshelves, looking for that idol, right? Like Ryan's like, I just want to find the bookshelf that opens.
I just want to find a secret passage. Yeah. He was as irrelevant on this show as he was on Big Brother Celebrity. But he's cute, but he's fun to look at.
But and going back to what Tyler said, if we ever do get another Celebrity Big Brother and they don't put Kate Chastain on that season, there's no point in watching. Like every reality TV celebrity producer should be saying that she should be one of those go-to now.
What is she from?
On a show. She's from Below Deck. Which I've watched every episode of Below Deck that she was on. I've always been a Kate fan. I was excited to see her on this show.
What did she do on the show?
Since it started. She was the head stewardess.
Okay.
So she served people and
Dance Moms. Who's the chick from Dance?
Abby Lee Miller is her. That was not. But she is walking again. Abby Lee is no longer in a wheelchair.
She should be.
Imagine Abby Lee Miller on the train.
But I want her in the wheelchair.
She's no longer in the wheelchair. She is
just bring it anyway.
But I mean, anybody that Celebrity Big Brother, help get me out of here. Whatever celebrity shows you are looking for in the future, like Kate should be number one on everybody's freaking list.
Yeah. I like across the board, like this casting, like for the returnees was so good. Like we had Arie, Brandy, Cirie Fields, Cody, Kate, Kyle Cooke, I thought was a really great character as well on the show.
And I didn't know him, but I agree.
Yeah, he was good. I feel like his elimination was like a turning point for the season. So that's why I'm excited that like Allison like stopped it like there. Because I feel like that was like the end of like book 1 for the season. And then like the second half, like it gets crazy, Allison.
And my segue, well, I'll probably exit here in a second, but a good segue out for me is Arie Luyendyk is from The Bachelor.
Okay.
And his season.
He was The Bachelor?
I believe he was
both.
Okay, he was a contestant. Okay,
he was The Bachelor.
Yeah, he was. I'm trying to think because it's been a minute, but
I don't think he's that good. Like, I don't think he's good looking enough.
Honey, it's been a minute since he's been on it. Okay, this is dusting off. Okay, this has been a minute. He's like got 28 kids with his wife now. I think if Tyler, if it's okay for me to say, you and I are going to try to cover the premiere episode of The Bachelor. Back in the old school days, I used to cover The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and I would lose my effing mind over these thirsty ass bitches. And honey, they thirsty. Okay? So there's nothing more fun than watching The Bachelor and all these women. And there's nothing more fun than watching The Bachelorette and all these guys. Oh my God, it's great. And I think the premiere episode is next Monday, the 23rd. Now, I'm not going live after that 2-hour shit show.
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll
find a time to talk about it.
Watch it with us. Watch the premiere. If you've never watched it, it doesn't matter. He's never seen that. He doesn't know what he's signing up for. Okay.
I'm signing up for like you just being like comedic gold talking about these dumb idiots. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All I live for is that 90 Day Fiance.
The closest thing I've seen to The Bachelor is Flavor of Love, and that is like one of the best reality TV shows of all time.
Let me backtrack to something Tyler said a minute ago, though. He told you, Allison, that it gets crazy. I will say that this game was reverse of normal. Big Brother Survivor starts out really, really crazy and really, really strong, and then by the end, it kind of gets like those last couple episodes of Big Brother were like, this one like started kind of slow and we just had like entertaining characters, and then it's one of the best end games that I have seen in a reality TV show, and it was one of those shows that I felt got better as it went and got faster and not the other way around.
Well, what is there's something I'm kind of confused about. So why are we okay, we're obviously banishing someone to weed out the, people to get to the traitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then why do we turn around and kill someone?
That's the traitor's power. Like that is like what sets them apart from being a loyalist, is like they have a direct line of influencing the game by taking somebody out that could be onto them. And Andrew, like, correct me if I'm wrong, because like I was a little fuzzy about like how the final worked, but if there is a traitor when they decide to end the game, so basically, Allison, they vote to end the game once they get to 4, and if they think there's a traitor amongst the group, then they have to vote somebody out. Basically, the only way the loyalists can get the money at the end is if they successfully get rid of all of the traitors at the end of the game. If there is a traitor left in the game when they all vote yes to ending the game, we think we're all good. If there is a traitor there, then they get the money instead.
God, that reminds me of the challenge a little bit.
Yeah, so it is kind of like that. So like the traitors, like their job is to like snuff out people that are like onto them, or snuffing out people they think could be like accidentally shifting the target to one of the traitors. So that's why they have like the whole like murder mechanic for the traitors.
Or using a murder to frame someone else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I had somewhere
we definitely
I was going,
saw a lot of that season.
I had somewhere I was going, but I forgot. Oh, and you know what? I didn't realize till the end, and I need to go back and rewatch the premieres just for this. Alan never tells them how many there are.
Yeah, I don't know
because if he does, they screwed the end game up completely, and I won't go into that in detail. But if he does,
I don't think he does, because when I was watching it and he tapped 1, 2, 3, and that was it. I was like, oh, so there's only 3. So I don't think they know how many.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to go back and rewatch too, but I'm pretty sure they don't tell how many traitors there are.
That makes more sense. Seeing how the end game plays out, it would have been even dumber decisions made, without getting into what those were, if they knew how many were originally in the show.
Right. And unlike the mole, where like the mole is like actively trying to sabotage the missions by like making sure they don't win the money and stuff like that, the traitors definitely have incentive to like do their best in the challenges, because it's just a bigger prize pot for them instead of the loyalists at the end if they get there. So they're able to like hide a little bit more like during the competitions and like getting the money and stuff.
And I loved the challenges. I thought some of the challenges were really, really good.
I love the buried alive.
Any standouts?
Huh?
Any standout challenges? The buried alive.
I won't say them because Allison hasn't seen some of them yet.
Okay. And I'm about to get the F out so y'all can be. But listen, I really liked the one where they were on the wheel and going around, but I really like the buried alive, and that was the one that my husband actually was watching with me, and I was like, you know what?
Would you do that, Allison?
One of my worst fears is being buried alive, but I feel like I could do this and not panic, because I know they're going to find me and they're going to get me out.
It's a mental game.
It's it's not like the movie Megan is Missing and I'm in a barrel with a dead body and I'm being buried in the middle of nowhere alive.
Wait, do you mean like the new Megan, or is this like an older movie?
You know what? I really wish I didn't know I had signed my life story away and they made it into a movie. I mean, shit. I really wish they would have talked to me about it first. It's probably made by the people of Paramount Plus. I don't know.
I will say though, I didn't like so much the splitting of the teams for challenges because the working against each other there was no benefit to it, right? Like especially in the church one where they were racing against each other. Like, who cares who finds them first? You both want to get the money's coming to the pot, any shape, form, or fashion. So like. I loved the challenges, but I felt there needed to be, and it happens, but I felt there needed to be more to the challenges, more game at stake than just especially, I can't say that.
Why? But you know what? Who doesn't want to see Kate on the same team as Rachel talking, ugh, how stupid is she? She just needs to calm down.
Girl, you need to get off this and go watch the next couple episodes if you like in that. You need to that barrel comp I was talking about, you got to go watch.
Are they burying someone in a barrel?
Oh, you got to go watch. I promise you, when you watch it, we'll know because you will be commenting in the chat.
Yes.
Okay, now, before Jackie, guys, do we want to take a brief moment to talk about the Challenge All-Stars 4 just for a second?
Yeah.
Is that okay while Jackie has stepped away, and then we'll get back?
I won't lie. I haven't looked at the cast. I've seen Tyler's comments on certain people in the cast.
Okay, so this is your first. This is Andrew's first impression of All Stars 4. Then
I haven't looked at it because we have CXUIL district debate this Saturday, and my days are numbered.
Well, we're not going to make a big thing of it. We're just going to. Are you going to show him, Tyler?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I just haven't had the chance to look. We're looking at NATO in school, so that's all I can tell you. The 30 member countries of NATO.
Okay.
All right, so this is by Gamer Vev, who is
TJ Lavin's playing.
So that would be quite.
TJ retweeted us, by the way.
He did, yeah. Mm-hmm. For the challenge documentary recap.
No biggie. Tej.
That was very
I
very
can
nice
call him Tej now.
Okay, so of course TJ Lavin is the host. All right, so the first female we have is Avery from the Real World Portland.
Wow,
I think that's a good
it's a good picture,
and this is quite the photo. All right, before we get demonetized,
Andrew.
Next week, and any comments, feel free to tell me to stop. Ayana, she was on All Stars 2, I believe. She's lost 30 pounds or something like that since All Stars 2. She is in amazing shape, so I think she could be one to look out for. We have Flora from Miami. Allison, I've never seen Real World Miami, so do you have any thoughts on her?
She is interesting, doesn't give a shit. It's been a minute, but it's going to be interesting to see what she does when she gets in there, because zero fucks giveth. Nice.
Good. Genesis from Real World Boston is an alternate, so hopefully she makes it on. We have Queen Janelle from Real World Key West. Surprised to see her back, but I'm always here for Queen Janelle.
Now, wait a minute. Didn't she leave in a fit of rage?
She was so vocal about how rigged the All Stars 2 final was. So I'm very surprised to see her back. Her and Darrell should have won that season. But, we have Jasmine from Real World Cancun. We have Laurel from Fresh Meat 2. One of the
who was still on the challenge that I'm currently watching, The Ride or Dies. I'm on episode 97. This is in September.
We have Nicole Zanata. Rachel Robinson.
All-star?
Right. I know. I'm not crazy about Nicole.
We had that conversation, Andrew, about what an all-star is.
Right. We have Rachel Robinson, who, in my opinion, is one of the best female competitors of all time. I will say, the female cast for this is stacked.
Yeah,
we have so many really strong girls. So I'm really excited to see those eliminations. We have Tina, of course.
Again.
She's back. We have Veronica back again. We have Ace back again. Adam Larson, he's one that hasn't been around in quite a while. I think his last challenge was the Gauntlet 2, I believe.
It's been a minute. I'm glad to see him.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years ago.
Okay. Brad again.
I love this photo. Right?
We're starting to recycle. Okay.
Brandon Nelson. I feel like he never really got like a good shake at it at the challenge. So I don't know. We'll see what he does. Chadwick Pelletier. I don't know who this is. He's from Road Rules Down Under.
That's the Australian. I think they're Australian road rules when they went to Australia.
Yeah. Derek from Real World Cancun. Kefla Hare, also from Road Rules Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
Leroy
was retiring, but little did we know he was just going to All-Star.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about I think that Leroy and Cam were like a package deal.
He's
not
getting
crazy
a win.
about,
I see it. He's gonna win this
especially
time.
with like these guys. I think Leroy could absolutely win this.
He has to.
What are you trying
Ryan,
to say?
We have Tony Raines from Real World Skeletons. I feel like he always causes some drama.
Can I just say
I
that
don't hate that as an all-star pick because he hasn't been around in a while.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate that.
I have an issue with this because I don't like it when they're in shape. I like it when they're winded after 1 minute because I can relate. This is unacceptable.
Cyrus is an alternate. Oh, Chadwick will not be on. And then we also have Cam. So Cam is the first one from Are You the One being cast on the Challenge All Stars.
Wait a minute.
Not crazy about this.
Did she just have a baby?
Yes, her and Leroy in like September.
In September?
Yeah.
Have they filmed this yet?
They just left. Like they just flew yesterday.
So who having the baby? That's like 4 or 5 months old.
Wow.
I'm sure the baby is in good hands. I don't know if I could personally do that.
The baby could compete and do better than Veronica. Let's just be real.
Hey, if both of them win, like that is some serious money for the both of them together. And I think like there's a non-zero chance that Cam and Leroy could be the winners of the season together. I just have I don't like the fact that like, so Allison, like you're saying, like I want all stars that are like a little winded, a little out of shape. Like Cam is not even 30 years old yet. And I just don't think it's very fair for her to be competing against what's her name from Real World Miami. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think Real World or All Stars should be for.
But she's had a baby 5 months ago. She is not going to be in the same shape. She's still recovering, right, Jackie?
Never underestimate Killer Cam, I think. I think she is one to watch.
But that's the conversation we've been having ever since they created this All Stars thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think All Stars is just another what do you call it, poll underneath this challenge umbrella where they can say, hey, you're not all going to be, it's not like the traditional challenge that we all know where there's a lot of hookups and fights, but then it's not the challenge international where it's like really serious competitors like Turbo. But now we have like this other version of the challenge where if you don't want hookups and you want people who might be winded and people who are already married and together, like come watch this one.
I love that there's no hookups and dirty dicking around. I just love that it's just straight because this is because I'm 45. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I just want to get to where I'm going. Just leave me alone.
A more mature challenge, we'll call
it. And then here's Cara.
And then we have Cara Maria is making her return, which I know she's controversial. I understand, like I don't agree with her views and stuff like that, but you cannot say that she is not one of the best competitors of all time. Like the fact that we're getting Cara Maria, Cam, Laurel, and Rachel all in one season, like I want all four of those girlies to go in an elimination against each other, and like I just want to see that competition. So I'm very excited for her to return here, and I'm excited that Polly's not with her. You know what I mean? Like it's like I feel like without Polly there, like it won't be about that crap and about like her just being this like badass strong female. I don't know. Yeah. I'm happy to see her back.
Is she gonna peddle her dildos? Do you think?
She could. Yeah, I don't know.
She might. Okay.
And then we have this clown,
Jay. Oh, Jay. Okay. I've got a little special
Go
place.
ahead. Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
let me. Jay and I played Sequester together, and we were All Stars, the first season of Sequester All Stars together. We hated the fuck out of each other the first time we played together, and then the second time we actually, we became friends through the show. And he is hands down the sweetest guy. Will do anything for you. I could not be happier to see him doing this. I really do.
So I also know Jay. Through the same, and I will back up everything Allison said. He found out that my wife was a big fan. He used to call me on my cell phone on her birthday every year. He sent her a package with some bracelets and some different things in it, and some just merch of his in it. I mean, we it's been a year or two, but we used to still talk or text every now and then. I agree. Jay is a sweetheart. I thought he was done for good.
I did. I'm very surprised. I was very surprised.
Well, he didn't really start. Let's be real. Like, he only had one challenge that he did, and he quit the final after not being able to drink like fish pee or something like that.
Yeah, that was with Jenna, right?
So just don't give him a gross food challenge, I guess, and I guess he'll be okay. But I don't know. He's cute. He's fine. He's fine.
And I know, Allison, if I still have his info, if we reached out, he might come on.
Okay, I think that we need. I think we need to make that happen.
That would be cool.
I think that needs to happen.
He
loves my. God, I can't stand the sound of your voice. That's what he said the first time. Anyway, sorry.
We also have Cirie and Steve Mink from Road Rules the Quest. So that is our All Stars 4 cast. Wish Susie and Sarah were on, but that sucks for us all. But yeah. So that is the challenge 4. So Allison, any other thoughts about the challenge All Stars 4 or the Traitors before we kick you out so we can talk spoilers here?
I'm just really excited to go finish the episodes, and I apologize for not having them done.
How dare you?
You know what? You can just.
This gives us the opportunity to talk about you after you leave, so we're cool.
Yeah,
the last 5 episodes, Allison, go by real quick. They're really good.
And and don't watch that. Like, if you can't, once you start 6, if you can't go to 10, don't start.
Well,
and you can watch the competitions on like 1.5 speed. I don't think they're that important.
Yeah,
I was trying.
Not the barrel one. Not the barrel one, and not the cabin in the woods. Those two you need to watch.
Okay, all I'm going to say about the barrel is, you guys know how I feel about the movie Megan is Missing. Look it up. Trust me. PTSD still bothers me. And before I left, my husband was out of town last week, and I was home by myself. And I heard a noise. And I had looked up Megan, the new movie Megan that's out, and I was looking at, because I had people asking me, have you seen that girl? You know, she got some big old eyes like you know. I was wanting
I could see some resemblance.
Yeah, well, I looked it up, and of course, one of the freaking Google images that comes up is from Megan is Missing, and it's disturbing and disgusting. And that girl got buried alive in a barrel with her dead best friend in some woods. And I'm telling you, that movie has hooked me up for life. So if there's anything I need to know about the barrel, please tell me ahead of time.
You're good. It's not that kind of barrel. You're good.
Now, the cabin in the woods might be scary. It scared me.
I love that challenge.
But it was great. It was scary, but then I couldn't stop laughing.
I would love to see Allison in that challenge.
Do I get to hear a grown-ass man scream like a little girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
You get to hear everyone scream like a little girl.
I would have loved to do that challenge with you, Allison.
That is gold. All right, Allison, leave.
Did break the guy. I will say before I leave, and I'm leaving I went to a haunted house about 11 years ago, and I broke a guy's nose with my head because he jumped out. I don't know what it is about putting a little white girl in front of everyone else in a haunted house. Okay, I don't know what it is, but everybody's got me in front because I'm like, no, I'm not playing. Y'all don't touch me. You gonna catch hands. So and they were walking around the corner, and they kind of push me, and I go around the corner, and this guy jumps out and goes, ah! And when he did that, my head collided with his nose, and I broke his nose. I had his blood in my hair. It was like a big deal. And when I came out of the haunted house, I was trying to tell the people, we were trying to tell them, this is real blood. My hair was really, really blonde. And I'm like, this isn't my blood. I broke someone's nose, and I'm really freaking out. I hope he's okay. And then I know this happens all the time.
Those poor employees at those like haunted houses, I swear, they go through some shit.
All right, guys. We will be, Tyler and I will be covering Bachelor next week at some point. Season premiere on ABC January 23rd. Watch that if you want to follow along with us. And Sunday, if you are a patron, we will be covering All Stars 2, Drag Race All Stars 2, episodes 3 and 4. Become a patron. Okay, yes. Guys, I'm going to get out of here and finish watching the show. Please talk about me. Please talk about me.
I know you're going to like watch this back and like see like the moment you leave, like what we say.
I always linger. I'm always around somewhere.
That's true. Goodbye.
The creepy stare.
You know, I just have one thing to say. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Allison's gone, so we can talk all things the rest of the Traitors. Cirie motherfucking Fields played the hell out of this game, and I am so happy she finally has a win under her belt because she earned it.
Yeah, I saw she was casted back in like July or August of last year, and I was like, she's gonna be a traitor. This needs to be hers. Period.
Yeah.
It needs to be hers. Give it to her.
I mean, like none of the other Traitors like even came close to what she was able to do. Like, go ahead.
I kind of cried for a minute because I loved Arie's gameplay, only because I had the standard set that the US was going to be similar to Australia. And I don't know if anybody's going to watch Australia. I don't want to spoil it. But I kind of had this idea that an original Traitor was not going to win the entire game. I also have this idea that there is no way for Faithful to win this game so far after watching so many. And when I saw Arie, when I started dissecting Arie's gameplay, I was like, I want Cirie to win, yes, but I'm conflicted because now I want Arie to win. And Arie, his game was just adorable to me. I felt like it fit so perfectly for a winning story. But then how the things all went down, I was like,
are we ready to talk about that, or we want to get to some other stuff before we get to that?
Okay, fine, but yeah, we can talk about something else first.
Yeah, well, like I guess like one quick thing that I want to say is like I loved the like Cirie's like target prioritization. It was like perfect for who was being murdered every round and stuff like that. Like Stephanie, like I loved that she was able to identify like Stephanie was basically a traitor for Cirie. Like Stephanie was able to pitch like it's like Cirie's good, she's a loyalist, like the whole game. She put in so much work for Cirie without her having to like really do anything. So it was great that she was able to keep her around as long as she did. But once the numbers dwindled and she saw that she was getting that same loyalty from Andie, especially, like why would you keep Stephanie around when Stephanie is a much more capable strategist to like figure this out? Like she's had like history with Cirie screwing her over in Heroes versus Villains. Like if you're getting that same loyalty out of somebody that's a little more naive about how these games are played.
Andie and Quentin were her sheeple. Just say it. Those were her sheeple. Yeah. And they even said it. No way Cirie would do that to us. There's no way she would do that to us. So Cirie had her fingers wrapped tightly around them too. So yeah, Stephanie had to go because Stephanie's a lot wiser. Once you're a Survivor player, like, come on.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. And so like I saw a tweet being like, I can't believe these two like made it to the end out of the faithfuls. Thank you, Adrian. They're like, I can't believe these are the two that made it to the end. They played such a bad game, and I'm like, that's why they made it to the end. That's why Cirie like strung them along like as much as they did. Because if Cirie didn't have those people in that final vote to end the game, if they had like Stephanie and Rachel instead, like let's just say that or whatever, there's no way that they would have like at least like gone like one more round of voting just to be sure. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew?
I what I liked about Cirie's gameplay overall was, yes, I think that it played down the middle exactly how she wanted for the most part. I think she missed like one death that she probably didn't really want just yet. But Cirie didn't give a crap. She wasn't playing for Cody. She wasn't playing for Arie. Mm-mm. She wasn't playing for Christian. Mm-mm. She was playing for Cirie. And it was apparent.
Like a game within the game of the Traitors.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go ahead and go there because I feel like we're there. The ending at some point felt fake.
Yeah.
How so?
The whole thing felt like a rigged VH1 setup kind of reality show. Where that ending. And I was waiting like, Arie, yeah, I was recruited by her. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like, yes, what Cirie did was amazing. But that risk, I felt like there had to be something, a conversation gone down that we didn't see. Like, I don't buy that happened spot on right there with no warning.
Would anybody mind if I tell y'all what happened in the Australian one without spoiling?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good.
So in the Australian one, they go back and do another banishment. Instead of like how Arie just stepped away, they do another banishment. And it was traitor. It ended up being a final 3 in Australia, 2 traitors and a faithful. So one of the traitors, she was able to convince the other faithful that the other traitor was a traitor. And then that's how she won. And she was,
and I think Cirie was like prepared to go.
And I was ready for Cirie to do that. That's how it was set up. And I'm like,
I see what you're saying.
That makes it like, oh, y'all are playing to the bitter end. But then when Arie walked away,
wait, say that again,
Andrew? That's how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
it's like they didn't. Arie messed that up. But again, I feel like there had to be a conversation there, or we didn't get enough confessional. We didn't get enough confessional from Arie saying why he made that decision ultimately for Cirie. Like, I felt like there was something from that whole go down that was missing. And I felt like it was either staged or we were left out of something.
Maybe Arie is a huge fan of Cirie and he's like, I've seen her play all these games and let me give her this one. Like,
or maybe like the moral police was there and he felt that like because he was recruited instead of like from the beginning, maybe he felt like he didn't like earn it as much. Like that was the only twist that I wasn't crazy about, was them like recruiting another member for a traitor. Like, is that a thing that happens in like any other season of the Traitors?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's weird.
It happens in like Mafia.
Yeah, okay. Because when you get down in numbers, it's like, well, I mean, you would ideally, you're like, okay, let's get all the traitors out, but then you're gonna have like 10 faithfuls that you're splitting this money with. So I think it's the idea where you want to get down to a certain number, and I guess for the ratings of the television show, if you have someone who's recruited, like that adds to the suspense, because now you have this person who's been trying to go on this hunt who is now going to be hunted.
Okay.
And I really love that flip in the game. I love that personally. In the Australian one, they started off with 4 traitors, and then they ended up recruiting, I think, 2. They ended up 2 that were recruited. Someone in the comments can correct me, but they ended up getting all 4 of the original traitors out.
Okay. Interesting.
And going back to the Arie thing, maybe for him it was also just a redemption. Like, I know you don't know much about The Bachelor, Tyler, but he actually, in his season of The Bachelor, proposed to someone she said yes, and then he changed his mind.
Okay, so he's a little wishy-washy.
He was a villain painted in that season. He's not a very liked bachelor for that. So maybe it was a little redemption for him. But the dude worked hard too, and I thought played a pretty strong, dang good game. Yeah. And
I loved Arie's game. I did. He was so lucky. I loved him. Yeah. I wanted him to win. I really did. And then, like, I had, like, of course, I'm conflicted because I love Cirie and I want Cirie to win too. But Arie's gameplay, and Cirie was just Black Widow Brigade the whole time. She was just doing Cirie's Survivor game the whole time. It felt like Rob and Russell Hantz. It felt like watching their season of Survivor. It was like, this game was built for you, Cirie.
Like, I think we had a confessional, like, episode 3 or something when Andie was like, Cirie is my girl. She's like family to me. Like, I'm like, you are under that spell. Like, you would never, ever catch me in confessional saying that about Cirie Fields, knowing how capable of a player and strategist she is. Yes. Like, it's just like I want to learn how to like bottle that magic and sell it or something because it's very impressive.
So I felt the finale was wild, but for me it just felt staged.
Yeah, very much. Very
much. That's, and to compare it to the mole, like that's how I felt about the final for the mole as well. Like I feel like these shows tend to like to slip the landing like on the last episode, like the big reveal. I don't know, like it's like I think people are like tuned out by that point or like ready for it to end at that point anyway. So like it didn't bug me as much, but I can see what you mean, Andrew.
But I feel like we need to go back and talk a little bit more detail about Kate Chastain.
Hell yeah.
Because one, and me and JB, and maybe not, somebody had this conversation. I think a lot of it was strategy in the beginning. I don't think she was playing dumb the whole time because she turns this game on in the end.
Yes,
and this whole I don't want to be here, blah, 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 this whole throwing the money to look like this. I think that was Kate playing the game. I don't think it was anything else. She was entertaining. She was strategic. Her roundtables were on point. Her sidebars were great. They say what doesn't build you makes you stronger. I don't want to be stronger. Like she was the show, but not just from an entertaining standpoint. I truly think she had strategy and game behind her decisions.
Yeah. And I get how like, so I didn't really, I thought like how they like figured out like the target for each like banishment ceremony. Kate was like the only one that like made sense that like I understand why Rachel thinks that Kate is the traitor. I understand why like everybody like keeps voting for her because she just has very like traitor like behavior. Like I probably would have been there with Rachel being like, yeah, it's definitely her. And like the fact that they kept wasting rounds, like not voting for her, like those type of characters are so dangerous in games like this because they somehow slip by, and the more that it goes on, the more it like fractures the vote from being able to obtain like any other like big targets that could be like one of the traitors. So you like if you're watching this, like get rid of like the big like get rid of the squeaky wheel is what I'm saying. Like they did it with Michael pretty swiftly, but like Kate just like went on forever and ever and ever, and to Cirie's benefit.
Yeah, but Kate figured out Christian. I mean, Kate put the nail in Christian's coffin.
Yeah.
And she did a really good job at drawing just the right votes. Because for some stupid reason, Quentin voted for her like every single round.
He was wasted space. Sorry, I was not a fan.
And he's a political analyst or something like that. Like,
Andie was at least emotionally entertaining, right? Like, I mean, there was some fun. Quentin was just like, I don't know. He was bad casting in my opinion. He was like the only one in the cast that I was just like, meh.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I love to see myself on these shows, but I have to be real. Quentin and Shelbe were just not good casts. If anybody's watching this of importance, I'm glad I was not on this season because they were not good castings. They were just wasted space. They weren't good energy. They weren't. good game players.
Either was Geraldine.
Geraldine was a waste. Oh.
Azra was a waste.
But
like
to
Anjelica
be
was
fair,
boring.
some of that casting felt like they were like, here's Cirie.
Yes, exactly.
Like the Shelbe with the single mom and that whole moment she had with Cirie and all of this. It was just kind of like Shelbe went in the DR and they like showed her a picture of her daughter and was like, Cirie, go get her, right? Like it was like some of it was like, here's Cirie on a silver, which don't get me wrong. The queen remains queen. Before I found out she won, I told Tyler she's the best player to ever play a game and never win. I can't say that anymore. Cirie is my favorite Survivor player of all time. Sandra who. I am a huge Cirie fan. And she played beautifully, but the cast was just like, okay, who can Cirie influence?
Yeah.
So maybe like for next season, they need to cast people. I think they need to cast people with more like experience with like orgs and like social deduction games and stuff like that. And like, I'm sorry, I keep going back to the mole, but like that cast was so intelligent and so like tuned into the game. Like I want to see like that level of player, even though they're newbies, that can keep up with players like Cirie on a strategic level. Because just like a lot of these newbies just like did not have it.
I feel like they had to have the kind of like the 10 flat newbies or like a few of flat newbies because of the bigger reality personalities that we had. I mean, you can't have a bunch of huge like non-reality personalities up against Brandy, up against Rachel, up against Arie. Like they just don't, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, top tier.
We had to see Joy on the next season of the Traitors.
Do we ever know why what's her name quit? Like, is that ever established?
No, I looked it up and she said that she has to wait for the show to be over. So I would assume maybe like she's probably in like an NDA agreement for like however X amount of time before she can like reveal why.
Which that makes me think it was a rule break, not a personal reason. Because if it's a personal reason, like you can just, I mean, that's your life. The only NDAs you can do are like game related or sense. So that makes me think that there was some drama there.
Or maybe production slipped and she like somehow found out who the Traitors were.
We're also talking about top tier cast, so I'm going to mention, is anyone watching Circle season 5?
Yes.
No.
Oh no, Tyler, this season's good.
Andrew, I'll tell you my problem with the Circle. I'll tell you right now, guys. It is such a contrived environment. Like you, like in like these games, like being able to talk to whoever you want, like is like the whole foundation of like why Survivor is so chaotic, why Big Brother is so chaotic. Like production is literally like allowing, like I wouldn't be able to message Jackie if I wanted to just on a whim. Like production has to set up like, okay, so Jackie, you're gonna have a chat with Tyler, so I need you to say, Jackie, I haven't talked to Tyler today, I should check in with him. Like it is such a controlled environment.
But to see Brett be on the cast and nobody knew who the hell he was.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Nobody until Shuby walks in and he's like, I think you're from Big Brother. It's a great whatever contrived. It's a great season, and I've not been. This Circle has been hit or miss for me all 5 seasons. This one has been so good, and it's worth watching it for Queen Raven.
Okay.
I wasn't going to watch it because it's called Singles, and I was like, oh, great. Now it's going to be like a dating component. But no, it's still same Circle. It's still the same. You have your standouts. When I saw Brett on the cast, I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. But yeah, nobody in the entire house, in the entire Circle, knew who he was. So I was like, nobody knows that this is, no one cares. I'm like, level 6, no one. Casey's the only famous one. Angela and Tyler, they the only, like, no one knows about. Okay.
But I'm telling you, there's this girl, Raven, that I think, she's so fun to watch and so lighthearted and goes through some stuff. And then when Brett gets eliminated and then gets a catfish, he's playing this like 48-year-old single woman divorcee, like, and he's playing it with another like 21-year-old model. Like, it really is a good season.
It's good.
It tastes like junk food. Like, if I'm like watching reality television, like
Yeah.
Survivor, Big Brother is like a gourmet meal that like fills you up. Like I would watch The Circle as like an entertainment thing, but like my stomach just like feels a little gross after I'm done consuming it.
So
So
last
if
season of Survivor definitely left a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, right, that's true. That is true.
So if Survivor and Big Brother are gourmet, Circle is bad food. What is the Traitors?
Oh, the Traitors is I would say the Traitors feels like a cheat meal when you're on like a diet. Like, everything was so good and like I enjoyed every bit of it. And I want more, but like we don't have more yet. So I really like I enjoyed it almost as much as I enjoyed the mole. Like, I think like, and Peacock hasn't really done like too many reality TV things. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
NBC
Like, I think
really hasn't.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think that they own Bravo or something like that. I don't know how all that works, but like the competitive reality TV world, they haven't really done much with. So this was just a slam dunk in terms of like a first attempt at that. So I really hope that we get more seasons of it. And just the chatter on social media has been really positive for it and very vibrant. Like, there's been a lot of chatter about it. So I think it will be renewed. My only thing is I want it to be in weekly episodes. I don't want it to be like a binge fest because I want to like sit on it for a week and like think about like who should Cirie, like I would love to like break down every week with you guys, like who should Cirie murder this week? Like, who should Cirie like try to like target for banishment? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be so fun to like break down like episode by episode this whole thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about NBC. The last reality show I can think of that was like an NBC, not talking about like a singing one, The Biggest Loser. Like, that was an NBC show. Like, that's the only thing that I can kind of think of as like an NBC reality TV.
Yeah.
Competition. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So that's my thoughts on the Traitors. Do you guys have any other things that you want to kind of bring up before we sign off?
I feel like we're missing things because there was so much. But
I didn't have any notes or anything. Like, I just wanted to share like general thoughts on the season. Like, the casting was good. Always happy to see Stephanie Lagrossa too. Like, we didn't really talk about her that much, but like I love this like Stephanie Lagrossa resurgence on reality TV. Like, I don't know what it's about, but I love it. And I think she's a great
She was
character.
on Snake in the Grass too, right?
Yes, yeah.
He was the snake.
Yeah,
he was the snake. Yeah.
Not a very good snake.
I thought she played well as the Traitors. Now, she would have been a horrible traitor.
No, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But I thought from that standpoint they were. I mean, the only thing I will say overall about the game is again, I thought it was great. I loved it start to finish. I've been telling everybody it's the best probably piece of reality TV I've seen in a couple of years. Even taking the Big Brothers and taking the Big Brothers and Survivors into consideration, I'd put the mole in that as kind of what's up there. But I felt that there were times when we were playing too alliance-y and not playing the game of the Traitors, right? Like, I felt like there were times when we were playing more of a social strategic, let's get the votes to save me tonight, and not the let's get the votes of who's going to get a traitor, or even, look, I don't know that you're a traitor, but you're going to give me the most information by finding out if you're a traitor or what did they call them? Faithful. And so I felt that was a little played too much. But ultimately, I thought it was a great show. I enjoyed it. Alan Cummings, I hope he's not the last we see of reality TV. I'd love to see Kyle play more reality TV. I'd love to see Kate Chastain play more reality TV. I'd love to see a lot of these people play. And then, so I think this is how I say we end it. It's season 2, same setup. Who we cast him besides the Sandra?
Give me Janelle. I loved the mess too. So like I want Joy from the Mole. I would also love Avery from the Mole to be on there. Like, I think Avery would be a really, really good traitor.
Yeah, that'd be good.
let's see who else. I mean, like, give me like a villain from give me like one of the girls from The Bachelor that's like a really infamous like villain. Also, give me somebody from Flavor of Love. Like, give me like Tiffany Pollard. give me what's her name? Hottie. Like, I would love somebody like that on the train.
Oh no, I've got it. I've got that cast, but it's not from one of the. Give me Rennie.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Give me Rennie. Give me
Ika Wong from BB Can. Like,
Yeah,
that would be good casting.
Give me Rennie
Parvati.
from there. Parvati would be great. But again, I want more of those like Kate Chastain kind of players, because I feel like this is kind of the show where you should be playing a character, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to see more like those, and I would love to see more like the Rennies. I think Janelle would be great, but it's going to depend who she's cast with also, as to where she is. Give me Francesca just to kill night one. Ooh,
That's a good one.
Can we put Francesca just to kill night one?
Yes. I love
Give
that.
me some Francesca vibes, right?
What about like Ramona Singer from Housewives? Like, that would be good. Like, I would love to see that. Or Bethany Frankel, or I don't know, like some of the Housewives. I feel that's where we could get some mess, is like bringing more Housewives in the mix here. Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential to go. I hope the show continues. I hope we get to see more of it. I'd love to see, you know who'd be fun? JC from BB20.
Oh yeah, that would be funny.
He'd be fun. So I think there's a lot they can do. I hope
Anybody from the challenge?
Ooh.
Because
I only
Caitlin
want-
says bananas, but
I only want to see CT. That's the only person I want to see. I want his
I
accent.
don't know how good CT would be in a game like that.
At all. He would be like Ryan. He would just be there as just kind of like but in the more recent seasons of the initial challenge, I feel like CT's strategic mind has been really flourishing with his puzzles and things like that. So he might be good. He might be a good trader.
I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. Devin.
Ooh.
yeah, no, I think that would be a good choice for.
I think Devin would be good at a show like that, playing the character, and I think he's super smart.
Yeah.
I think Devin would be a great cast for something like that. You know what? Screw it. Let's do 10 hosts. Give me Julie Chen, Jeff Probst, give me Phil, and let's play.
What about Julie from Real World New Orleans? That would be a good casting for the Traitors. I would love that so much.
I would have loved in this cast Derek to be cast, Derek Levasseur, just so he could have been partnered with Cody, and Cody would have rode his coattails all the way to the end.
It was so satisfying to see Cody's ass just like whipped by Cirie in that game.
Johnny Fairplay?
Yeah, absolutely. For
Johnny
sure.
Would be fun to watch.
Jerry Manthe. Get Jerry Manthe on there.
Jerry would be really, really good. Give me Tiffany Pollard.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Give
We
me
should do like a Brand Steel simulation season for like characters that we're picking here, because this is really fun. I could do this all day.
Give me those kind of people. I want the underrated, funny kind of character, but still kind of smart, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of who I'm looking for in this kind of stuff.
Yep. Vanilla Ice.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I was kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, I think that would be good casting too. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We could do this all day, but we should do like a Brand Steel like simulation of the Traitors and play that out. That would be super fun. Caitlin says Abby Lee Miller too.
We should play our own version and just make sure we kill Allison night one. Like that's
deal. That's what she gets for not watching the rest of the season in time for our recap.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna name one more, and this is gonna be This one will be an unpopular opinion. Todrick.
Ooh.
I can't. Like
I know
he's not
it's
even,
coming.
like, there's a difference in like villain rootability for me for somebody like Omarosa compared to somebody like Todrick. Like Todrick, like I don't love to hate him. I hate to hate him. Like he is just a terrible piece of shit human being. And I can't believe they gave him his own show. They have cut Drag Race early so he can have this like WeHo Gays show. And it is just so terrible. And I the less Todrick in my life, the better. So I'm not about it. Sorry.
I think he'd be great casting.
He would be great casting, but he would just like annoy the shit out of me. Like how Rachel was to Kate. That's how I would be if I were playing a season with Todrick. Every single week, I would be like, "He's the traitor. We have to get him out." I don't know.
But no, it was great. It was a great show. I'm watching for a season 2. Hopeful announcement in the near future. But yeah, it was good.
Yep. Jackie, anything else?
I love the show. Rachel's banishment was the saddest banishment of the whole thing, but it was also my favorite banishment because it was like she was literally being executed, like socially executed. I love the game. I've been waiting to watch this game for a year, actually over a year, since December of 2021 now. So I am so excited that I got a chance to watch it. I'm excited that Cirie has a win. I'm glad I did all my research. I will do a Mafia night as soon as my baby is born. And I'm ready to play Mafia or
summer.
Traitors.
Summer. Let me get to the summer. Hey, we can play it if we qualify for Phoenix this summer. We'll play it with my kids.
I'll play with you guys too. If the invite's there, I would love to.
Let's do it. The Traitors.
Absolutely.
Mafia, Traitors, whatever. I'm there.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining tonight. We'll have to figure out some more stuff for us to podcast together. I miss you guys.
Miss you too.
All right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. Take care and bye-bye.